before. And welcome back.
And okay, I feel like we do that a lot.
I do. It's
this
because
bit, the welcome back.
It's the newscaster. It's like we've already been doing the news report, and you're just tuning in.
Thank you so much for that report, Brendan. Back to Susie for the weather.
Oh. I think it's supposed to be hot tomorrow.
Yeah, probably.
Anyways, also I think the meteorologist usually stands in front of a green screen.
We should get a green screen, Brendan.
I think we have a green screen.
Oh my god.
Brendan has everything.
He's got it all. We were just saying, it's like that we have a very skilled producer.
Right.
We have all the equipment. What we lack is
any drive whatsoever.
Willpower.
Ambition.
Drive,
yeah.
Determination.
Grit.
It's that you guys just listen to that rock song on repeat.
Right.
Which
it's about
this has got drive, this has got power. We stay hungry, we devour.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Put in the work, put in the hours, and make what's ours.
Yeah, he's really onto something.
Yeah. We should just get motivated. Like, have we tried that yet?
Not really.
Let's watch some. Okay, the problem is you have to put aside the part of your ego that has served you well, which is the part that makes fun of things that are dumb.
Yeah.
But you have to set it aside. You have to buy into the cheese.
Right.
And be like, yes. Affirmations.
I am capable.
Goals. Put it in writing. Bring it to life.
Yeah.
Or whatever.
Or whatever.
I don't know. That sounds good.
No big deal.
That would help.
Do we go to the intro?
Oh, yeah. We have an intro. You're listening to Strumpet Radio Hour.
The podcast for strumpets, trollops, and tarts worldwide.
I'm Bean.
And I'm Susie.
I'm just here.
Okay, guys. Great intro, right? God, we have a lot to get through. We got a lot of business to get through today.
We do.
Step 1, get motivated.
That's gonna be a big one.
That's maybe the biggest one.
Yeah.
Okay, step 2. I don't know. No, Bean. I just put that on top of the list because Bean reminded me she almost killed us. She almost drove us off the bridge.
Yeah.
On Wednesday.
I feel like you should tell it because in my mind, I was just doing the right thing.
Cruising. Yeah. Okay. Well, for those of you that don't know, Bean drives a car that can't possibly be street legal.
It's a very small car.
It's a Fiat. It's a green Fiat.
500 license plate number is
42069. Yeah, actually it was funny because earlier that night we drove right past another Fiat, your identical Fiat.
Yeah, it was the same Fiat. And then it passed me, which was very insulting, honestly.
It was cute, though. It was full of two old people, and they were waving at us.
They waved at us.
It was like seeing our future.
It was us.
It was literally us from the future.
Very cute. I do like it. I always wave at other Fiats.
They get it because they're also freaks.
They're also delusional.
Yeah,
which
they're
I
like,
love.
This car, if I get an accident, I will literally die.
I will die immediately.
Instantaneous.
It will cost $20,000 to repair, even though the car only costs $5,000.
Right, of course, yeah.
It's the best car.
It's the best car she could ever possibly want. Anyways, we're in this car. It's like 10:30 at night. We're over the bridge. We're actually pretty close to getting back to Bean's apartment. She says, "What's that noise?" We're driving. I don't hear anything. Obviously, I'm kind of deaf, so I guess that makes sense why I didn't hear the really important noise being assessed. What's that noise? Lunges towards her dashboard. She's driving a manual, so she kind of needs both hands. Lunges towards her dashboard. She's swerving.
I don't need any hands.
But true, that's true. You're really talented.
Yeah.
And this is a bridge. To give some context, every time I drive over this bridge at night, I imagine
it is scary.
Yeah, I imagine what would happen if my car swerved off the side, went over the barricade somehow, and then I'm drowning slowly in my car, and it would be pitch black because there's no light.
No, to make it worse, you're drowning slowly in my car.
Oh yeah, in your car. The water's frigid. These are our last moments. We're in a tiny green thimble.
Yeah.
Anyway, so yeah, Beans. What's that noise? Lunges. we swerve. Obviously, we didn't actually swerve that much.
No,
Bean's
we-
car is just
It's actually funny because
tiny.
I didn't even realize what you were laughing about. Because, okay, what the noise was.
Oh yeah.
There was
Let's get what's the diagnostic. What was this noise?
I had taken my car to the shop earlier, and there was a receipt still in the dashboard, and as I was driving on the road, it was just gently tapping against the windshield.
And Bean didn't notice it, I guess, until this very second.
Yeah, and then it started driving me nuts, so I just lunged forward and grabbed it. Now, I drive a very small car with no suspension, so any tiny
It's
movement
just like,
or any tiny bump in the road, like, it feels like
you're
we're
getting
crashing. So I didn't even, I moved the steering wheel a little bit. I didn't even think anything of it, but then Susie was
I was just laughing hysterically because it was like
she thought she had just died.
I thought there was a moment we were gonna hit the barricade and just because your car's light enough, I think it would get catapulted
it would
over
just
the barricade.
right over, yeah, no problem.
Into
Either that
the-
or it would fully crumple into it.
You know that it might do, yeah.
Yeah.
Which would probably be a better way to go. I don't want to drown slowly in a car. I'm gonna be honest. I don't really want.
Not my top pick. No.
Not in my top 10.
No. But so it was
boost
fun.
vibes.
It was funny how you're doing that laugh of like that hysterical laugh of someone who like thinks they almost died, you know?
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, to be fair, it was highly irresponsible of me.
It was just funny because it was just a receipt. And it was something that presumably had been there the whole night.
That bridge is bumpy. I didn't notice it then.
The whole thing was like 10 seconds. And it was just so funny to me how quickly it was just like, what's that noise?
Yeah.
It was so funny.
It was a ghost train.
It was a ghost train incident all over again.
I'll tell you
Guys,
that.
listen back to episode
I always have my
70?
ghost. I'm usually, when I'm by myself, I feel like I'm a fine driver.
Yeah.
Not good, but fine. But I do still have a hard time carrying conversation and driving because
Oh.
I always cringe when I think about one of my first times driving with you. I just blew through a stop sign.
Oh, did you? See, I don't remember
We
that.
went to the mall, I think.
Oh, yeah, but those don't count.
We were on the way back to your house, and you're like, I think there was a stop sign. I was like, what?
No, it is hard. I'm gonna be honest though. I was driving by myself today, and there's a right turn only lane, and it was like one of those ones where it has its own light, and the light is like an arrow.
Oh, yeah.
And there's a million different things you have to look at if you're gonna do a right turn on red. And I was doing that thing where as I was pulling up, I was assessing everything, and I was like, perfect, I'll go. And then I was like, I don't know if I actually stopped at that light. And I said, oh, I just committed a crime.
Yeah. Also, I think you're not supposed to turn right on arrows.
You can.
Red arrows?
I'm pretty sure you can. It'll say no turn on red if you can't.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, the red arrow there is just to turn
It's-
green and let you go when other people are going as
Oh,
well.
because it's right turn only.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, you know what?
Obviously, you can't turn on a red arrow when it's a left turn.
Right. I do know that. I really thought you couldn't turn right on red arrows.
I mean, I'm sure in some places that's true.
It does have to
But
say
you know what? I
no
also
red on red.
was wrong about when I first started driving. Was wrong about how the right of way at stop signs works. So I did get honked at pretty brutally, and then I looked it up.
How does
I
it
was
work,
like,
Bean? Why don't you tell
now
the
I
class?
understand.
Give
I
us the
actually
lowdown.
personally, I think this is worse because it's first come, first served, right? So the first
Right.
person who gets there, it goes in order of who arrives.
Right.
That's really hard to keep track of.
Oh yeah, and
sometimes.
nobody ever knows.
Especially at like 8 when there's like 2 lanes on each
Yeah, it's
road and,
horrible.
like,
Well,
turns.
Well, I mean, it's like first come, first serve when it's like 2 people
Yeah.
or like 3 people even.
Yeah.
But then like after that, it is just like you just go in a circle.
Okay, that's what I thought.
Yeah.
But
That's
I
what you
think-
do.
I don't
There's
know.
it would be insane if it was all right. The person who got there first.
Right. Well, the thing is
When
that
it's like
would-
4
Oh,
people
I
all
see.
going.
that would become a circle eventually anyway.
Yeah, I guess that's just what I had. in my head.
However, I don't know. I just know that I got to the stop sign. I was like, "Hey, the person next to me just went. It's my turn." And then a guy like just
Oh my
blared
god.
on his horn, and I was like, "Oh, I guess it wasn't my turn."
I don't know.
And then I looked it up, and I thought it said no. It's first, no matter what. I mean, it'll eventually become a circle. but
Right.
it's-
Yeah.
yeah.
I don't know. I think that person's just an asshole though, because every time I'm at a stop sign, I just assume the person thinks that they get to go next.
I did too.
Right? Like I'm just like I know that I was here first, and when I'm driving somewhere with a lot of Teslas, I assert myself like crazy. I say, "Hit me, bitch!
Hit me! I
Hit
dare
me!"
you. I gotta
Um,
say, the stop sign system isn't great.
No, it's not
Because
good.
people always, I mean, you have to play it safe because people are crazy. But then also, when everyone's playing it safe, there's like just this uncertainty.
Oh, it's so in like the pause. Yeah, you like take a moment to pause, and then somebody. It's a whole mess.
Yeah.
It's a whole mess, you guys.
I had something the other day. I was driving home from work, and I like pulled up, and like the person next went, and then the person behind them started to go.
What?
And I'm
my
like,
God.
no way is that your turn.
Yeah.
And so they like pulled out entirely. They had a passenger in the car, and they like were like, sorry. And I'm like, no.
You get back.
What?
Yeah.
What is this?
I was like, no way was it your turn. Because like I was like pulling out.
Yeah.
No way was it your turn.
It's, I do try to give people grace.
Yeah.
Because I've been an idiot
Oh, we all
so
have,
many
yeah.
times in the car. But yeah, it's so funny. I remember the first time I almost got into an accident was not my fault. But straight up, I was just on this fast road, and someone at a stop sign wasn't looking. And
hate
just
that
started to pull
shit.
out, and I had to slam on my brakes, and she did one of these, like,
Yeah. Oops.
I'm like, girl, we almost died.
Oh my God.
I've
Yep.
been that person once, so I can't be that judgmental.
I
But
know.
like, oh my God.
There's definitely some times where I was like truly the most in the wrong I could possibly be, but in the moment I was so sure I was right. I'm like, ah.
Yeah.
And then like 5 minutes later, I'm like, oh my God, I did that.
Me.
And
Yeah.
thankfully we didn't get in an accident, so it was fine. But it is crazy.
It is wild. I've had like more scary moments than I'd like to have had. Still not maybe like 3 or 4, but
Right.
that for a year of driving feels
Right,
like a
1
lot.
year. Yeah.
Like, ugh.
Yeah.
Driving's awesome.
We just contend with death. It's fine.
We
Yeah.
just do our best.
Speaking of contending with death, next
I
on the
don't know where this
docket.
is going.
No, I quit my job, guys. A lot's happened.
Did we not announce that?
No, because the last time we recorded was you weren't here. It was me and Alfie and Brendan. Early June. And in that episode, I believe I was discussing whether or not when I quit, my boss will hunt me for sport.
Oh my God.
And I just wanted to update that my boss has not been hunting me for sport.
As far as you know,
Well,
she could be a very good hunter.
She's or a bad hunter.
Or a bad hunter.
she's not a good hunter, I can tell you that much. Yeah, no, it was really funny. We got back from one of our trips. It was a great trip. We went to the North Cascades. Another contention with death, actually. The siren. Oh my gosh, you guys. First of all, I was ignorant. Didn't know there was a big old dam up in the North Cascades. That's just where a lot of Seattle gets their power from. Okay. Crazy.
Hydropower.
From water? How does that work? Don't know.
Huh?
Anyways, there's an alarm that goes off, I guess, that alerts you if the dam has broken and death is imminent.
Yeah.
Now, this alarm did go off at 3 a.m. Keep in mind, like, a bunch of my family's there, my nieces and nephews, Brendan, Alfie. So this alarm goes off in the middle of the night, and we're all just like, is that the damn alarm? And what do we do?
The damn alarm.
It's a damn alarm. Funny thing, Brendan didn't even pretend to wake up during this whole instance.
Honestly, that's the move, because if the dam is breaking...
Well, that's what we learned. So we...
Sorry, I was just
interject.
incredibly tired because Alfie
Yeah.
kept vomiting on me in the night.
Oh my God.
I forgot, you guys. I forgot. Well, he wasn't...
Alfie's
okay.
a nightmare dog.
He wasn't vomiting. He sounded like he was vomiting. I got up and checked. Brendan just accepted he was vomiting, I guess, and slept through it. I checked to see if he was vomiting. He was just coughing in that vomiting sounding noise. Now, we did later find out, I think the next night, that he did vomit on you. So
Oh my
Brendan's
God.
not wrong. He ate a bunch of sticks. It's okay. He's fine. But yeah, so I get up to talk to my family because I know my dear mother is always worried about imminent death
Of course.
and alarms. I mean, that's fair.
Yeah.
But yeah, we were talking to everybody, and then I think the camp host eventually came by, and they're like, yeah, I called Seattle Electric or whatever the hell it's called. I don't remember. But they called to be
Seattle-
like,
I don't
is
know.
there a warrant? Did the dam burst? And they were like, I don't think so. And then they got back, and they're like, yeah, it sounds like somebody accidentally hit the alarm. And we said, oh, great. And then the next day, my dad talked to one of the rangers about the whole thing. And then the ranger was basically like, yeah, it's also crazy they have that alarm because literally if that dam breaks, nothing you can do.
There's nothing you can do.
There's nowhere you could go.
It's over.
So yeah, that was fun. It was nice that none of us were quite, or at least, I don't know, like I wasn't awake enough. Brendan wasn't awake enough. A lot of us weren't really awake enough to like truly panic to the degree that we needed to.
Yeah.
And I think we all kind of contended with the fact that we might die. We were just like, okay.
You know? What can you do?
Truly, what can
I
you
like
do?
run to a high hill.
Yeah, so
I guess.
there was one area that I guess technically was the like evacuation route, but yeah, it would have been like by the time we recognized what because the alarm is just a horn.
Yeah.
By the way, they probably could have a system in place that alerts like what it is, like this is the damn evacuation or whatever, but like it didn't. It was just a horn.
People probably couldn't hear it.
Yeah, it's so weird. I don't know.
I feel like that's kind of the funny thing with alarms too is like because I used to live in Minnesota where we had tornado sirens.
Yeah, that's crazy.
And they would once a month test them.
Right.
So you just get used to hearing the tornado siren.
Right, so it's not going to have the same impact.
And so when you hear the siren and if it's actually a tornado, I wouldn't know. I have no sense of time. I'm not like, oh, this has been 1 month.
This is a scheduled, yeah.
And a lot of accidents happen that way.
Yeah.
Same with fire alarm. Like, our buildings, just any apartment building, if the fire alarm goes off, you're just like, ugh.
Yeah, you don't think it's a fire.
No, never.
I've never thought it was a fire.
No, I'm always just like, God damn it.
And I don't think it's ever been a fire in the instance they go off.
Or like worst case scenario, someone's like microwave caught on fire
they
a
made
little bit.
a bag of popcorn.
I'm gonna say I didn't think we do too many drills.
Yeah, dude. But then if you don't test it and you need it, there's not really a good way around it.
No, we just need to we have all this technology. Instead of putting it into making like AI images of aliens with a lot of boobs, can we put the technology and energy into making better alarm systems? Because I do feel like we're at the point where we should be able to do that. Our phones are capable of alerting us.
Yeah.
They can make our phones just go off.
I think the best way to do it...
They already do that. It's called an Amber Alert.
I know, that's what I'm saying, but don't do it for the Amber Alert because I don't need my
I'm not
eardrums to
find
burst.
that kid.
I'm not going to find them. Yeah.
I don't know.
There's nuances to go into Amber Alerts too, by the way. We're not going to do that this episode, okay?
Well, okay, I think the solution actually... I don't know how the alarm itself works, so I don't know if this is possible, but the best case scenario would be an alarm that has two different sounds, a test sound and a real sound.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
And you can test it with just the test sound and be assured that the real sound also works.
Right. Yeah.
I feel like that doesn't seem that crazy.
It's not. It's definitely something that you can do. Yeah. 100%. 100%.
Arnar.
I love America.
I do love a good alarm. The tornado sirens were so creepy.
Right? Is that what they sound like?
Yeah. I think so.
And a tornado is scary.
They're so scary.
They just look creepy.
They're creepy.
I mean,
what is that?
We watched Twister recently.
Yeah, we watched Twister
the new
recently.
No, the old one.
No, yeah, the old one. I didn't even realize they were making a new one.
I know. I watched...
That one's Twisters, for the record.
Twisters. I watched Twister in a science class in Minnesota.
They said this is real. This is a documentary.
They're obsessed with tornadoes there.
Well, yeah, I mean, it's you have 15 minutes.
Yeah.
To
that's
move.
what we learned.
Now, most of them, I never saw one up close. I did see, I didn't see it, but I did experience the pre-tornado weather where everything turns green and feels staticky, which is... Tornadoes are creepy.
It's so weird.
I never saw it, because at least in my limited experience, it would usually be... they pop up and then they leave.
Right.
So just everything's fine, but then one house is just wrecked.
That's so weird.
Yeah. It's very strange.
That just happens.
Everyone's got insurance for that.
Yeah.
Shit. Yeah.
Well, that's really, after watching the movie Twister, I was like, damn, I'm grateful we don't really have to deal with those
Yeah,
here.
we're not in Tornado Alley.
No, we're not.
Big chunk of America is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love America.
I love America.
Those and hurricanes really scare me.
Oh, God. Hurricanes are
scary.
Destructive.
You always know a hurricane's coming.
Yeah.
Whereas tornadoes are truly you have 10 minutes.
Yeah.
And you can't really predict them as far as I know very well. So.
Yeah, not well.
Yeah.
That's what the movie Twister taught us.
Yeah.
You would know. You saw it in science.
When in 8th grade or something. So.
Bill Pullman was in it.
No.
Still never saw
Bill
one,
Pullman
though.
wasn't in it.
I thought it's him.
It was the other Bill.
Bill.
Right? Or unless I don't
Nye.
remember who Bill Pullman is.
I believe it's Bill Pullman
You
and
might be
Holly
right.
Hunter.
I might have just thought Bill Pullman was sexier than... Who's the guy that's in Casper?
Casper the Ghost.
Yeah, Casper the Friendly Ghost.
Yeah.
The dad is really hot.
Oh, okay. I never know the celebrities you guys bring up.
I'm sorry. Sorry you're not
I'm out of the
cultured.
loop. I'm
No,
really
you're right.
not.
I'm thinking of Bill Pullman.
Yes.
God, who's the other one?
We've been in
Win
STEM.
for the girls.
Guys, while Brandon's looking that up, did you notice I'm wearing my sleep mask? I thought I should wear my
Bill Paxton.
Paxton, yeah.
Bill Pullman, Bill Paxton. Come
Well,
on, Bill.
Yeah, because when we put on
One
the
of them's
movie, I
dead.
thought it would be Bill Pullman, and I was excited, and then it was some Uggo, and the whole movie, I was like, these two should not be together.
And that's when they see the center of a twister, right? That's the whole thing.
Yeah, they want to get these sensors inside the twister, so then they can detect them better, effectively. Yeah.
All I remember
So yeah, you're right.
about the movie was like that one of them or both of them were hanging on to something and the twister passed over them.
It
yes,
did, yeah.
yes, they
And
tied
saw
themselves,
the center
and
of it,
it was a whole thing.
which actually would kill you.
Yeah,
But that's cool.
yeah.
That's why it's funny we watched it in science class, because it's just like, if
It's
you
just-
do this, you will be ripped apart.
Right, it's just not real.
Like, you can't tie your arm to something and then not just be like...
Well, we don't know that for sure. We should try it.
That's true. I mean, I guess we haven't tried.
Let's chase a storm.
Let's chase some storms.
They had some really fun actors in that movie too. I feel like
Did they?
some of the people that they had, yeah, because they had Philip Seymour Hoffman, right?
Oh yeah, no, he was probably the best character.
And Carrie Elwes
Oh yeah, no, okay, you're right. You got me
is in
there.
that movie.
They were just side characters. I think that's what was surprising. That all the main characters, I was like, ooh.
Well, Carrie was the villain.
Yeah, but he wasn't even featured that much in it.
No.
Not like Saw.
Yeah,
You guys should
Alexa
watch Saw. That's a
Penavega's
good
in
movie.
that movie.
I haven't watched Saw. I don't really like gore.
I know. Well, I don't. The first Saw isn't too gory.
Really?
Yes,
Okay.
I hate gore too. I actually can't really stand it.
Yeah, no, it sticks with me in a like I don't even know. Like it like grosses me out.
Yeah, I mean, because
it's not like a disturbing way. It's just like
like
ugh,
I don't. Well,
wanna
you know,
think
I've been
about
watching The Boys, and that's where I'm at too. Where
that.
I'm
gotta
like, I
watch
don't.
that.
You know, guys.
Yeah. I went to see. I don't regret this. It was really fun. I went to see Thanksgiving with a bunch of friends on Thanksgiving, which is it's a very like camp
Right.
horror movie, and it was very funny. Like, it was a comedy, really. But there's a couple gore things in there where I'm like, I kind of wish I'd closed my eyes.
Yeah, I kind of wish I hadn't.
Now that's just in my head.
That's what it is too, right? Is it's like it just stays in your head and it just ruins some. You try to eat a certain meal.
Yeah, I'm
You're like,
like,
oh,
it's over.
I actually didn't want that
yeah,
anymore. Yeah, it
awesome.
sucks.
super cool.
Yeah, the first Saw movie, they insinuate a lot of gore, and you do see some gore, but it's pretty clever the way they do it. And they
Yeah.
it was one of those movies with a very low budget, and they just knocked it out of the park. And
It's
then
amazing.
I guess all the rest of the Saw movies are incredibly gory, and yeah.
I mean, I can handle it. but
Yeah,
I
she's
just generally prefer to not.
this girl's
see it.
tough.
Like, I don't know, because there are some people who will be like, you know.
Yeah.
I know people who are like, I cannot watch
They
this
can't
movie.
watch it.
But for me, I'm kind of just like, I don't know. Probably would rather not.
Yeah. You don't
Because
need
I'm brave.
to. Huh?
Because I'm brave.
You're brave. You're very
I'm
brave.
brave.
tough. Okay, guys. So that's not what this
So like,
is.
let's not let
It's
the
not
record
like
be
I'm
clear.
scared, okay?
I'm actually not scared of anything.
I'm actually like so brave all the time.
Like I would go skydiving a lot. I just like don't have the time for
I
it. Like I'm
just
really
can't afford it.
busy.
It's too expensive. Too busy. I would go skydiving. I think that.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying. I would go skydiving. I just like I'm busy.
Yeah, you're busy. You would never go skydiving.
Shut up. I'm just busy. I don't even.
I'm always like, Susie, let's go skydiving.
And I'm like, I'm literally busy.
You're
I'm
so-
literally
so
busy.
busy.
No, I know you would go skydiving, and I wouldn't. And I'd wait for you at the bottom, and then I'd watch you die because your chute doesn't open.
I would probably just forget how to open it. But that's why they strap
I
you
was
to
They
a
gonna
strap
guy.
you to someone else.
You're
Yeah.
actually the perfect person because you're so small. You could
I
be
know.
strapped onto anyone.
They wouldn't even know. They wouldn't even know I'm there.
Ah! What is this?
Whoa, what's happening?
Beans just latched on. She's not even
I'm
strapped.
not strapped in. I just grabbed on. I'm like, I thought this was.
This is not.
This is not what we're
This is
supposed
not what
to
you're
do.
supposed to do. Okay. You know what's crazy? I have an aunt and my uncle, but I just recently were discussing this. Who's done 3,000 dives?
Yeah, no, people do a ton.
3,000.
3,000, like, cause my dad made a joke and he's like, oh, you know, she's probably done like 100, And my uncle's like, yeah, like 3,000.
Oh my god.
Is that like how expensive is it
I
to
don't
go
know,
skydiving?
Bro, I don't. You
I don't
probably
know.
get a membership. You get to
Probably.
go. Yeah.
Well, it's funny.
10th jump is free.
My friend Apoorv went skydiving, and I was like, and he said that like his fear was like abated because when you're waiting, you just see people
Right.
go
They're
up and down
dropping.
like 20 times before you go up.
Right.
So it's kind of like.
So then
okay.
suddenly you're just in the sky.
Yeah, you're just like, well, everyone else did it and didn't die. So.
Yeah. No, but you don't
That's-
die that often.
That's crazy.
Yeah, they don't.
That they were like, this is a thing that one we should be doing.
Yeah.
Two, recreationally.
right.
I mean, it sounds awesome. I
Would-
like the fall. Okay, I love like the Tower of Terror.
Right. That's your favorite
Disneyland.
part.
Like I
yeah.
love the free fall.
I don't
Yeah.
like it.
Yeah.
Which is fair.
I say that's not what humans are supposed to do.
It really isn't.
We're supposed to be on solid ground.
I was falling out of my seat on Tower of Terror.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that was crazy.
It's not called Tower of Terror anymore. Sorry. It's
I know. They changed
Guardians-
it. That sucks so bad.
something.
Breakout, maybe. Is that what it is? I think they're breaking
Yeah.
out.
Maybe people like that. I was very sad to hear that because I was like, Tower of Terror was so.
Oh.
No, I like Tower of Terror.
Queen.
And it was like vintage, spooky.
Oh my god! Don't get me started.
I do have to
hate Marvel, and I want
I hate Marvel.
to blow them up. Can I say
Yeah.
that? Is that allowed
Is that in a
You
video
can
game?
you can say that.
in a video game?
Yeah.
FBI.
I do have to say I think that this ride is like less jarring
Okay.
because like the last
Right.
one was just like they just take you up and drop you
It's
and
also-
you
that's
do it a couple
also-
times, but like this one it's like you're going up and down
You're
and up and down a lot
bouncing.
more. You're bouncing more.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
It-
yeah.
Another
crazy.
thing that just occurred to me when you said that is it's weird to rebrand it with like a family friendly.
Oh, because
thing.
it's so deceiving.
Because it's not like kids can't do the
No.
ride, but I would never like. I don't know. I would assume you have to be at least like 12 or 13 before.
Well, it's a height thing. It's not an age thing.
Okay.
Yeah, no, but that happens.
So
a
you
lot.
wouldn't be able to ride.
A lot of people. No, a lot of
Rude.
people bring their young kids on and they get traumatized
There's
from
some
it.
tall kids out there. Okay,
Yeah,
who
no,
are
for
young.
real.
Like I don't think they should be on that.
I think it's like 48 inches
No,
or something
my-
like that. It's not that tall.
It's not,
No, it's
yeah.
quite short. I remember I was able to ride like all the rides at Disneyland by the time I was like 4 or something. It was
Yeah,
but
crazy.
you were really tall.
I was weirdly tall. What
You're
happened?
Freakishly tall, and now you're just like
Well,
a little tall.
I wish I was like 6 feet.
That would be so sick, dude.
Right?
I wish I had the 6 foot.
That would
best
be
friend.
perfect. Oh
Right.
my god. Okay,
Sucks.
guys,
Sucks.
I don't know if I explained this. I'm wearing a sleep mask.
Oh yeah. Let her do her thing.
Most like 3/4 of the way through, I'm in my sleep mask because I kind of wanted to be in like pajamas, and I
Yeah.
thought this would sort of sell the fact that I'm in pajamas because everything I wear looks like pajamas because athleisure and sleepwear is
It's-
blended.
So great.
And but then my shorts were just a little too short, so I put this blanket on top of my lap because I didn't want to get
Demonetized.
But then also
We're not
like,
monetized.
also like aggressively fat shamed like on the internet because like I know David's
By
watching.
me and David.
Yeah, exactly.
Yep.
Um,
I mean, I did the same thing with the sweatpants.
Right.
I brought. I just don't want to accidentally like flash.
right,
anyone.
like I don't want like some lips slipping out.
Yeah, I'm pretty loose with the lips.
Right.
And loose lips sink ships.
Some sink ships, and they weren't talking about the ones on your
They
face.
were, yeah, no.
Mm-mm.
That's not what World War II was about. My friend.
Yeah. Anyways, so just glad we covered that real quick.
You should have told me I have a sleep mask. I could've gone.
I'm so sorry. I literally thought of this like as you were coming over, and I was like, I really gotta tell
It's
Bean.
messed up, dude. I feel excluded
I know.
again.
Susie's just trying to like connect with her favorite president, Sleepy Joe.
Sleepy Joe.
I was so sad to hear he's.
Dude, I know. I was like, I love. No,
I
Joe Biden.
stand. I
Joe.
stand.
I love. He's my favorite president. I'm not gonna be a political freak on this episode,
No.
but boy, I am so jazzed.
we don't have the time.
We don't.
We don't.
And it wouldn't be interesting to anyone except me. But oh my god, I'm so jazzed about the shakeup. I'm not even that jazzed about Kamala herself. I'm just jazzed that something new's happening, you know?
We've been needing it.
I'm like, let's go. This is fun.
It's true.
Let's
Politics
go.
are fun again.
Politics are fun.
They
okay.
are.
The fanfare.
Fanfare, it's spicy.
No, I agree.
It's been so boring for so long.
for so long.
Or just not even necessarily boring, but just like hopeless.
Yeah, I think that's really
Yeah.
what despair.
Despair, tragedy, disillusionment. But now, things are getting interesting. Okay, that's it.
They
That's the
picked
end.
back up. They picked back
That's
up.
the end.
Okay. Now a word from our sponsor.
Of course.
Delicious Just Shells. Am I reading that right?
Yep.
The best part about pistachios without the pistachios. That is so... I'm so glad we finally got sponsored. Is this it?
Yeah, that's it.
This is it?
Yeah.
Okay. Sorry, Bean. I just took
If
that.
you're tired of getting nutrients from your pistachios,
Oh, I'm sick of it.
then Delicious Just Shells are for you. They take out the tasty part, the nutritious part. Just shells.
Have you ever wanted to feel like you're eating teeth?
Oh, every day.
I know, actually, maybe fingernails would be more apt.
Yeah. Oh, they look like fingernails.
Right?
Have you ever wanted to feel like you're eating popped off acrylics? The Delicious Just Shells
are for you. Only $10.99 a bag.
That's cheaper than pistachios, I think.
Probably.
Yeah. The regular ones.
Thanks, Just Shells.
Delicious Just Shells. Very tough name to say.
I know. I was like, that's Delicious Just Shells.
That's a lot of
And for somebody that was in speech therapy for that sound specifically, I really overcame.
And you would never know.
That's what most of my half hour was.
Is that what you had to do?
Yeah, literally.
I never went to speech therapy because I was just
You were just
a perfect speaker.
you were like good.
Like as soon as I was born.
You're quite eloquent from a young age.
Yeah, I was just popped out. Talk.
Yeah. That's what happened. You just sew your mouth back
Just
up.
popped out chatting.
Chatting up.
Yeah.
Talking about politics when she popped out.
Yapping, talking about politics. I was like, what? That was 98? I don't even know.
Yeah. Who was
Bush? Was it before?
It was before Bush. Clinton, I think.
It was Clinton. I was like, Clinton is awesome.
That's what she said.
I hope his wife is president someday.
I hope his homophobic wife is president someday. That's what you said.
Dude, that is why we need Kamala to win. Is just so that Hillary Clinton can see that it's not because she's a woman.
It's not the woman thing. It's like your
It's everything
politics
about her.
Yeah, yeah.
You're just bad. You're just not good. I'm sorry.
She said it. She said it. She's
I
allowed to say it because she's a woman.
Yeah. I'm allowed to hate women.
Like if a man said that, I might be like,
I'm never going to bat for Hillary Clinton. If a man said that, I'd be like, that's right, King.
I would be
Women
on
do
edge
be
because I've
shopping.
just talked to too many men. I'm sick of talking to them.
No, it's the same. It's true. I say that same thing about like people who criticize Islam, because I'm like, religiously, there's a lot to criticize.
Right, but like, why are
you? Yeah, why are you?
Why are
this?
you saying that?
Why is that the first one you're going for? Like, I'm sorry,
Exactly.
I'm suspicious.
Yeah,
I don't
no,
trust you.
And as you should be, as
Yeah.
you should be. Guys, always be on edge.
Always be
is
on
the
edge.
lesson here,
Dude. Perfect transition, actually.
Yeah.
into
Oh,
the-
to always being on edge.
Yeah, the pudding
The pudding line.
line.
Talk about always being on edge. Okay, guys.
This was so stupid.
Okay, well,
I just mean like.
this is the greatest night of my life. So.
Okay.
Okay, yeah, no. So we went to
So
Bite of Seattle.
Drama in the pudding line. Yes.
We went to Bite of Seattle. It is exactly what I remember all events during the summer at Seattle Center being, which is hot, overcrowded, overpriced, and I'm not gonna say I regret going because I went with you guys and that
was fun.
It was fun.
I do regret. I really wanted pudding. I love. Okay, guys.
Yeah. Okay. Let's get into it.
Pudding is my favorite dessert. Surprising no one.
True. Corn's her favorite dinner. Pudding's her favorite dessert.
I love pudding. I think it's so good. I used to live in Texas,
Right.
where pudding is respected,
Yeah.
revered even as a culinary dish.
They know how to do it.
Is it not
Here?
respected here?
You can't get pudding. Where would I go to get
I
some
can't even
gourmet
think of where to
pudding?
go get pudding.
Name one gourmet pudding spot.
I don't
Or
know. I'm
just- I
sure
don't
you
know.
could get it at like a restaurant, but I don't think any place is famous for pudding.
I
Right.
haven't seen it. Dude, if I saw pudding on the menu, you know I'd be going there.
Well, the
every
only
day.
place I can think of where I like saw it on the menu was when we were in California, and there was that like barbecue place across the street.
Right.
They had a pretty good banana pudding.
It's like the southern barbecue places that,
Yeah.
that do it right. Anyway, so there was this like pudding restaurant company, whatever. It was
Yeah.
coming all the way from California to sell pudding. and the line, it was a long line, but everything had long lines.
Everything had long lines. It didn't seem that long considering it was like one of the most hyped spots, right?
Yeah,
like
and it seemed like the line should move.
It should move
relatively
quick.
Like I was down to wait like 20 minutes even.
Sure.
Like, it's a crowded event.
We had waited like a half hour for these big baby bottles.
Yeah, we got, oh my god, incredible stuff.
We'll get those out another day.
Oh yeah, I should have brought
Right.
mine. It's
We'll
still
have a baby
full of
episode.
like that nasty
Ours is
juice.
Yeah, we haven't emptied it out
Maybe we
yet.
should just dump it.
We definitely should.
We're gonna
It's
dump it. I'll
really
clean it
gross, I'm
out, and
sure.
then it'll be a great prompt.
Yeah.
Okay. Anyways.
So it was the classic sunk cost fallacy.
Right.
Like we've been in line for like 30 minutes now or something. We might as well stick it out. But then of course that turns into like an hour.
But I mean, notably, after we've been in line for 30 minutes, the line proceeded to get super long behind
Yeah,
us.
that
So
was the other thing.
it was like, well, yeah, and the sunk cost fallacy was it was like, well, if we leave,
Yeah.
there's no getting pudding.
We just waited for 30 minutes for nothing.
So, yeah, and then I'll jump in here with my side.
you go.
After about like 30 or 40 minutes, I was like, Brendan, I'm still kind of hungry. It's called Bite of Seattle. There's got to be some food around here somewhere. We were going to go grab some food, come back. Because I don't think I think only Bean was really the one wanting the pudding. I think we were all too sugared out from our massive baby bottles full of lemonade.
Yeah. And they were so heavy.
They were so heavy
Scary.
and sticky.
And the straws were too short. So you had to also
Nightmare.
hold the straw.
True nightmare scenario.
I think I have a photo of Randare holding one if you want to put it in here. If you
Yeah.
don't, that's fine.
Well, I'll give him the photo of you feeding.
oh, yeah,
Randare.
me feeding Randare.
Yeah. Okay. So Brendan and I go around. There's also not a lot of vegetarian options, which Brendan
is
says.
very weird.
Yeah, Brendan says he wasn't surprised by it. I was shocked. I said, "This is Seattle,
It's
the most
Seattle.
cringe vegan city other than
Truly.
Portland." I'll say. You would think they'd have at least like a couple of good food stands. We did get some good pupusas at the beginning.
Yo, those were fire.
Those were fire, and that line wasn't too long.
And for like expensive, like fair food basically, they were like $5 a pupusa, which wasn't
That's
that bad.
pretty good.
Not bad.
'Cause those baby bottles were $35.
I could not believe we paid that. Anyways,
That we knew what we were doing.
we were
Uh-huh.
yeah. Well, okay, so Brenda and I go around. We like walk very far. It's so crowded. It's like hard. It's like Disneyland crowded, which is
Yeah.
really interesting. We can't really find anything. There's like one spot that I kind of wanted to go to. It was like this like cheese wheel pasta place. Out of pasta by the time we get there. And cheese. So then we walk all the way back. And we say that's fine. We'll just get Beans pudding and then we'll head out in a bit. So we go back and the line has not moved very much at all.
Yeah.
But there is a guy in a red shirt. And he wasn't there before.
There was also another guy in line.
Right. So there's this group in front of us. And, obviously they were in front of us the whole time. And then there was a guy in a gray shirt that had grouped up with the group in front of us. And it was clear that he was a part of that group.
Yeah.
Like, he was talking to them and
he was with them the whole time after he joined.
right after he joined, he was just there, and then he left with them. But then there's this guy in the red shirt that I initially assumed was with the new gray shirt guy. And I was like, okay, so like whatever. But as the line continued to wait around, it became clear to us this man did a chat and cut.
A chat and cut.
With Randare.
I cannot believe Randare was the victim to this
He's
man's
the victim of the
chat.
Because then Randare left because his friend showed up. So he
Right.
Was
So the original chat and cutty.
and so then at some point we're like, wait, where did this guy come from?
Right. And it was just one guy. And so I was like, okay, like whatever. Like, I don't know. Like he talked to us a handful of times, which was kind of funny, where I was like, okay, like.
He was definitely trying to, because he like took a picture of the menu and then he was, like,
showed it to
showing
us. Yeah.
He was trying to
butter us up.
Yeah, butter us up.
Which was smart.
Yeah.
But
just
then
annoying.
this piece of shit, this scum of the earth.
We're near the front.
We've
We've
finally
been in line for an hour.
for an hour plus.
We're near the front. They're running out of almost every pudding.
You can
flavor.
see, yeah, it's not a lot of pudding.
But, yeah.
3 other people joined this red shirted
At
fella.
least. I mean, there was a big group with him at first.
Was there? Okay, yeah.
Was it even a bigger group? I thought it was just the 3.
Maybe there's 3. I know 2 people stayed in line with him and like ordered.
Oh, okay.
When they were like, we're not. He's just ordering. We're just talking.
Oh man. Okay.
Okay,
so,
hold on.
Yeah.
We're
before we
we're
get
getting
ahead.
ahead of
Getting ahead.
Right. So just keep in mind the notable additions though was there's this dweeb in a bucket hat.
They were all like, they all looked like, if not high schoolers, then like very recently graduated high
Right,
schoolers.
like,
they looked
yeah.
like kids.
Just kind of younger, annoying.
Yeah.
Like they were not intimidating in the slightest. They
No.
were just like, oh god.
And to be fair, you know, like the people behind us were like, there's like one guy in line kind of the whole time, and people were like coming and going.
Right.
Yeah.
Like they like other people were getting food from shorter lines, and like it's fine.
That's
you
what
know,
you do in a line.
That's what you do. You know, you hold the spot, people come back.
Notably,
That's
though,
fine.
it's when somebody's actually been waiting the whole time. You got to have at least one person,
You have to
ideally
have a
more than one.
representative.
A representative that has actually been there the whole time,
Yep.
which this red-shirted fellow had not been.
Yeah.
So we were just chatting, you know, chatting it up. You guys were talking. You guys were focused on whatever you were talking about. I started to overhear the people who also they chat and cut and then took the spot in front of us.
Yeah, they
Right.
because at first they were kind of standing next to us.
Right. Yes.
But
it
then
was.
suddenly like 4 people were in front of us.
Yes,
and I was
that-
like,
and
what
that's-
the fuck
Yeah.
just
I think
happened?
what prompted us being
Yeah.
like, wait a minute, because it was ambiguous at first, and then suddenly it was like, these annoying little bitches are in front of us now.
Yeah,
And-
and it's like usually this stuff wouldn't be that big of a deal, but the line behind us was so long.
So long.
Everyone had been waiting like an hour. Definitely, we shouldn't have waited. That
And there
long.
was
The
and there
pudding
was
nice.
definitely a fear of like running out of pudding because there
Yeah.
were some pudding
Oh,
flavors
dude.
that they ran out of.
I think a lot of people didn't get pudding. 'Cause,
Yeah.
like by the time I got there, they had like 3 flavors left.
Right.
So anyway, you guys are chatting. I end up like overhearing what they're talking about, and so red shirt's there. He was in a red shirt, and then 2 other people were there, and then this girl comes up, and she was like, "Yeah, I was waiting in the back of the line there, and I was chatting with some people." And she was like, "Yeah, you know, I'm ready to head up to the front spot, you know, because I think he's got a spot up there." And then the people she was chatting with, apparently they were chatting, and they were like, "Hold on, if you have a spot up front, why don't you take our order, and we will like pay you additional money for
Which is crazy.
for the spot of
For the
pudding."
stupid
The
pudding.
For the
is
cut.
The pudding was $11, and honestly, it was fine pudding.
Yeah, I had a little bite. It was pretty mid.
It was
like,
pretty.
it
I didn't even
it
have a
did.
bite.
It did taste better after I put it in the fridge. 'Cause
Sure.
I think it was getting a little warm.
I think they.
But
their
yeah, it was not
operations.
worth any of it. I was like, oh my god.
So as we were getting closer, you know, there was the legitimate fear that we weren't going
That
to
we
get
were
pudding.
gonna run out of pudding.
Rather, we weren't even going to. My friend, my good friend Bean wasn't going to get her
Yeah.
pudding.
Right.
And
And
that it was fine.
and
but,
they were
like-
just being so obnoxious too. Like it's just
Well, that's the thing. Because if it had just been that one guy,
what exactly.
It's
It had
whatever.
one guy.
who
I would have
cares?
just let it slide.
But then
And
to right
so-
at the front, bring like 3
Four
new
people.
people.
Oh
It's like, what are you doing?
And so then,
So
yeah,
get
you wanna
this.
start it up.
well, we were kind of talking about it, and I was like, okay, this would be a good Larry David moment.
Yeah.
Not that he's someone you should generally emulate, but there are times where you're like, oh god, I wish I had it in me to just be like, hey, fuck you, don't do that. And we were kind of talking about it, and then my knight in shining armor, Brendan Sauer,
It was crazy.
was like,
Impressive.
he stepped in and he was just like, hey guys, my friend's been waiting a really long time for this pudding, and I know you guys weren't in front of us initially, so if you I can't remember the exact verbiage. It was
Just
very
calm,
Yeah, it was just
but also direct.
exactly.
Ultimately, so the reason why I said something was because I didn't want like the people and these jerks to like get up there, place their order, especially with this new person that got added, the bucket hat kid, because he was their representative from the
Right,
back.
He was getting a
Yeah.
lot of pudding.
I
presumably.
didn't want them to like buy the last thing of pudding, and then we show up and Bean can't get her
Because
pudding.
that's what would have happened. Like, had nothing been done, you just know the world is cruel.
It
And
was fine.
that's what would.
Yeah.
Bean, This is not about
I know.
you not getting your pudding.
Because I am about to ruin the story.
Well,
lest
yeah.
you forget.
No, and it was funny because then they were like, oh, well, we've been waiting here a long time. And then we're like, and then Brennan's like, well, I know that you weren't in front of us when we first got in line. And they're like, oh, well, like, we're not going to get anything. It's just, our friend is going to get something. We're just waiting. And then the people behind us
who've been waiting the whole time.
They were
with
waiting
us.
the whole time. Yeah, they
were
got
our
in line
boys.
right behind us because they're like, oh, man, this is the line. Because you have line solidarity when a line is that long, right? Like, they were like, are they cutting? Like, they were ready. If we had given them the signal, they would have jumped.
Fought.
We would have waged war on these pudding thieves.
But unfortunately, I was incredibly stressed out by all of this, and I was like, "It's fine."
Right? Beans
It's
like,
fine.
don't worry about it.
We won't fight you over pudding.
Don't worry about it.
And
so we let it go. You know.
Yeah. I mean, look, the only thing that I wanted to make sure that didn't happen was that the people in front of us, like they didn't get pudding for the people in the back.
Yeah.
That was what I was fighting for. I was like, it's too far gone. It's too far gone for like the guy in front of us,
Yeah.
Should have said something
right
off the bat instead.
Why, and I've said this to you guys, why I mean, I still think I should have let it play out a little longer, but what was working against us is that we waited so long to call him out, I think.
We waited like 20 minutes.
And I didn't really, and also his group was immediately very defensive, which kind of surprised me, because I don't know.
Yeah.
I thought they'd just be like,
well, they're running a whole operation.
No, but they were like, like immediately like, no, we're not doing anything.
Because they'd never been called out before. I think that's what it was. I think
so.
they were like, they thought they could get away with it. And
this is so mean, but my core memory is this girl is saying that, and she just had the smallest mouth I've ever seen on a person. And I was so distracted by that. Like, how is so much rage?
Right, how
from
is
such
so
a
much
tiny
just
mouth?
arrogance spewing out of you right
Arrogance
now?
is what it was. I was like, girl.
And they promised us.
Yeah.
They promised us that it was just going to be red shirt guy.
It's just him.
Fully fucking lying, and that's the most heinous thing of all.
Multiple people in front of him ordered. Like,
oh yeah, they were all ordering. But the one piece of justice was that,
fairly, only because you were there.
Yeah, because we need to help our friends build up her confidence. So they're going, they go up to the line, all six of them, because only one of you get fuck you, burn in hell. Anyways, but then there's another cashier peeked out and was like, I can take the next order. And, you might think that the person next in line would go, and then me and Brennan were like, Bean, you're going to that window.
Yeah.
Cut these motherfuckers.
Because she said it like 3 times, and I was literally just being like the nice Mormon girl. I was about to be like, hey,
actually,
she's calling your name. And then Susie literally shoved
We just
me.
shoved it. We said, go get the last banana pudding and then throw it at them.
And then I got my banana pudding, and it was mid.
Yeah, and then it was...
and it was $11.
$11 down the drain.
It was mid. But, you know what? They didn't run out of banana pudding, and that was the one I wanted.
And that's really what mattered. And we ultimately cut them in line at the end, which was good.
Yeah,
I
got to cut them.
It was only one spot.
Yeah.
Maybe 2, because there were 3 of them.
Right, there's a lot of them.
Yeah,
and hopefully, the pudding they were buying for the people.
Hopefully, it was warm.
It was. Hopefully, it actually spoiled. Gave them listeria. They're very sick now.
Yeah, they're ill. That was wild.
That was great.
I mean, I'm just so non-confrontational. Like
and
I'm not
so
either,
anxious.
for the record.
Yeah. Brennan's not normally that kind of guy. And
it was. They talked about their nefarious scheme right next to us.
Very particularly annoying in so many ways.
Right, it was like
the worst.
They could have played it off, and not only that, really annoying, but then also not intimidating whatsoever. So
very annoying, not intimidating, not good at lying.
Right. Yeah.
And then also just I don't know, they made no effort to de-escalate or I don't know, they just immediately. I was like, oh my god, you're so bad at this.
You
need a better story.
You need a better... Exactly.
And you need a better disposition, because it's so obvious we've caught you.
Right. Just the way they were cowering.
I swear to God, you can get away with so much by just being like, what?
No, literally, oh my gosh, I'm so sorry.
Oh, I didn't realize. I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
I don't know. Because what are you going to do? It's a pudding line.
But
Anyway,
anyways,
so
yeah.
I ruined it.
You didn't
You didn't
ruin it. You didn't
I-
ruin it. Look,
it's-
everyone got their pudding.
Your instinct is correct in like basically any other scenario. Like
because I always am just like de-escalate. It doesn't matter.
right, with strangers you generally don't know.
Yeah.
I just didn't think the bucket hat guy was really gonna hurt me. That was really
I didn't think anyone was gonna hurt anyone, but also just the optics of getting in a fight in a pudding line,
Which is
I was like,
hilarious.
I don't know. I just want to go home.
Just wanted
Ultimately, you know, we weren't the ones who should have been mad at them. It's the like person who didn't get their pudding.
Right.
Who
I know,
should be
someone
mad at them.
didn't.
Someone didn't.
and it's their fault.
Yeah.
And
But
God will judge you for that.
but also when I go to these events, I just expect the worst.
Right, yeah.
From everyone, I expect that nothing's gonna be that good.
Right, it's hot.
Everything's
It's
gonna be
crazy.
expensive, and you're gonna have to wait an hour for whatever you want. But I will say,
Oh yes.
I won't go crazy into this. But I watched a really good video. I should look up what the guy's name is.
Yeah, give
He's
us
a
a
big true crime YouTuber,
oh my
kind
god.
of like JCS. Have you watched?
Back
this?
under true crime kick. I
know.
don't know that I have seen Jason.
He does like the police interrogation
Oof.
breakdowns.
Is it that one the lemon spy wolf or something?
No, that guy
No.
sucks so bad. You guys were right. It's Matt Orchard. His videos are very well produced. But I didn't know about this before, but he covered the Apple River stabbings, which was a very interesting case in Wisconsin because the whole thing is on film. Like a phone
Oh,
filmed it,
okay.
but there's still like so much contention because, you know, it's like whatever.
Right, yeah.
But, like, without getting into it, it was, like, a very mundane confrontation of strangers in public. And then this guy just had a knife and started stabbing everyone. And I was like, holy shit, I was right in the pudding line.
Right, you said
we could have gotten stabbed.
we could have gotten stabbed.
You don't know, man. People are crazy.
They are. They are.
So you're just saying that we should just cower, sit down, and let these chat and cutters get away with it?
I'm saying there's some battles worth fighting, and there's some battles not worth fighting.
All I'm saying is that I pulled a Larry David and
Yeah.
said,
Good.
this guy did a chat and cut, and the people behind me
They
had
were
my
ready
back.
to back us
I know.
up. Yeah.
And that's what makes me regret it, is because I think they might have kicked him out.
yeah.
But you know what?
Because, like,
I would have felt bad.
the people behind us, they were like, I mean, they weren't like big and burly, but they were like,
They were dudes.
they were like,
They
they
were
were big
dudes.
dudes.
They
It's a
seemed like
group of
they were dudes
dudes.
that go to bars a fair
And this
amount.
is a group of dweebs we're talking about.
Exactly.
Yeah, like
Group
they-
of dweebs versus us and a couple of
And I'm just saying,
dudes.
I would have loved to
we
get
win.
stabbed by a guy in a bucket hat. I would have loved
That would have been pretty
that.
funny.
That would have been
It's
funny.
true.
That would have been funny.
I think I was most worried that it would just like these things often do, where it just escalates out of control and then everyone gets kicked out.
Right? Yeah. Yeah.
You know.
But that would have been funny.
That's true. It would have been funny.
No, I think that instinct is generally right though. I mean, I really am not a fan of confronting crazy people because it's like, yeah, the reality. I mean, it's like it's unfortunate, but it's kind of like honking your horn at like people. And,
Oh, yeah.
You know, it's like they're absolutely in the wrong, and like in a sense they should be told that, but not by me, an unarmed like
No.
non-confrontational person. Like let another crazy person confront that.
I've had people road rage me like twice. Like one guy was just like flipping me off and honking, and
Yeah.
then the other guy kept flashing his brights at me. That guy, I don't even know what I did. I
Right.
still don't understand. But it wasn't in like a something's wrong way. It was
Right.
like getting really close to me and
Ugh.
The
And-
brights is worse because that's like
yeah.
you know, that like prevents me from driving well.
And both times I just slowed way down, and
Right.
these are impatient assholes who want to go fast, so they just go around.
So they
you.
go around you.
And
Yeah.
that is the solution.
That is truly
'Cause
like
they just drive away.
just leave.
It's like I'm not gonna engage. I don't even. Usually I'm just confused.
Yeah.
I'm like, what happened? The guy
Yeah.
who flipped me off, I did accidentally cut him off, so that was on me.
I don't get that though. I'm like, why are you
It's
chasing me
still
down?
so aggressive.
Right?
It's like, relax.
Like,
dude.
literally.
I'm sorry.
Sorry, your wife doesn't love you. I
I-
don't know what to tell you, King.
It's just like, you know I didn't do that on purpose.
Yeah. They really
like-
think you did.
I feel like people do, and that's why when I'm talking about these, even when you get really upset when someone does something dumb, it's like, I know it most likely wasn't on purpose.
Right,
Like, It was
yeah.
an accident. I gotta control the rage. But these dudes out here, they'll rage on a little mint green Fiat.
They will.
Yeah.
Probably because it reminds them of their daughter that doesn't love them either. Like, I just know it, you know? I don't know.
It's not a there's something's wrong. If you're like a road ragey person
Yeah.
to that degree, it's like something's wrong.
You
with
need
you.
to get help.
Like, you
But we
need
don't have the help to offer you in this country.
We
So.
don't. I do feel like we normalize some behaviors that are just like.
No,
this is-
absolutely, right? And it's so much of it's tied to masculinity too. I mean,
Yeah.
even like bar fights, right? Like that's
Yeah.
people die all the time
People
because they
die.
get in these dumb little confrontations, and then it's like, yeah, it's like, oh yeah, that's just kind of a thing that happens at bars, and it's like,
Yeah.
well, shouldn't we maybe consider that that's like a not.
Maybe we don't get in fights at bars. I don't know.
Maybe we stop that. Maybe we
Also, okay, I'm not one to point to movies as like ruining people's brains, but I do think to some degree it has desensitized us to the realities of violence.
yeah.
Like,
Oh yeah, no,
you
definitely.
can die from being punched in the head wrong.
like quite easily.
Like,
Yeah.
people don't like get knocked out and get back up. Like,
Yeah,
you just fall a little wrong and it's over.
Yeah.
And like,
it's true.
obviously the chances of that are hopefully pretty low, but like,
Right, but you
I don't know.
generally you want to avoid these
yeah,
things,
because
right?
like so many people have ruined their own lives by like getting in a bar fight and then they punch someone and they die
They
and now
die.
you're in prison forever.
Yeah.
And it's like, what
no,
are you
it's
doing?
true. Yeah.
I don't think you intended to kill that person, but like
But
do
you did punch
deserve
them. Yeah.
to go to prison.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Don't punch people. Don't get into fights.
Yeah.
Don't get into fights. Even in the banana pudding line, don't do
Even
it.
in the banana pudding line, you never know when someone's got a knife
Or a fist.
or fist or gun. in this
Or a
country,
gun,
dude.
especially in this country.
Yeah.
That being said, I think that these all of them were
these
too weak to hold
No,
a gun.
they were not a threat, but they were just. It's funny because like, I'm so biased because if they had been different, like not young, annoying people, I probably wouldn't have been as upset.
Right? Isn't
but
there
there's something about I'm getting old. I'm like these damn kids.
These damn kids and their phone.
That's the thing, right there. Like you can survive this bite of Seattle better than anyone else. You know,
Yeah.
you're young, you're youthful, you have heat resistance.
Right, yeah.
You don't get tired.
You're not
from
this
standing.
small woman with pots.
Yeah, or like I don't know. It's weird.
Guys.
It's weird. It's weird antisocial behavior. That's what it is.
Oh my gosh, right?
Come on, guys. There's a social contract we all signed.
We all signed it.
Just be normal,
Be fucking normal. Like, just chill.
please.
Well,
Is that the end of our
That's-
time?
well, there's one more final fun little bonus I have for you all.
Oh.
Okay, a little surprise for you too. We were talking at the beginning of motivation and the fact that we'd probably be as big as Joe Rogan by now if we had any
Easily.
grit and
For
determination.
sure. Like
Right.
just if we had the grind set.
If we had the grind set. So anyways, I've been on a little bit more ever since I've been jobless. Going through some of our socials and in particular looking through our email. And
Dude, I forgot we had an email.
I know, right? strumpetradio@gmail.com. Feel free to write in
Send us
anytime.
fan mail.
Well, we had a fan letter in there.
We got a fan letter.
We got a fan letter.
Wait, what?
I'm so excited to read this to you. They want to remain a little bit anonymous.
Fair enough. You don't want to out yourself as a strumpet.
As a
fan.
strumpet fan, oh my
Yeah,
gosh.
It's humiliating.
It is a fun letter, and they specifically did ask us for their insight on it. So I'm gonna read it to you guys now, and we will discuss. But isn't this exciting, you guys? Our first fan letter.
First fan letter.
I did read some of it. I didn't read all of it. Just I wanted to keep some of it a surprise, but make sure it
What
wasn't
is
like
it
riddled
about?
with offensive things.
Right. Is it like nice?
It's it's nice. It's I'll just jump into it. Okay. Hi Strumpets, longtime listener,
Sup?
first time writer. I've been an avid fan since the pre-video days. Okay.
Oh, that's
so
humiliating.
years ago. I can't even believe we switched over to video in 22 or
Yeah.
something. I don't know.
Yeah, I think so. When we moved in together.
Yeah, we were on hiatus on and off for so long and
Yeah.
still are to this day. Okay. They write, I apologize in advance if this letter is long and rambling and generally just not well written. I did my best, but I'm still not fully sure how to describe my experience. I recently had an encounter that I'm really unsure who to even share it with. The obvious place would be Reddit, but honestly, I don't really feel like opening up that can of worms. I figured
Sounds like a Reddit post is amazing.
it's right. I mean, it's our own personal fan Reddit
Our
post.
own personal Am I the Asshole? I can't wait to
Oh
hear
my
it.
god, dude. I figured I might as well share it with you three since it would be good content and maybe you can offer some insight or thoughts. I live in Utah. Shout out to friend of the pod, Sophie, and enemy of the pod, David.
Let's go.
And
I think that means all of our listeners are in Utah.
Oh my God.
Like,
We have a
this is the
Utah
third
specific
person-
audience?
Yeah.
Only Mormons.
Oh my
Only
God.
Mormons.
That's fun.
Incredible.
They say, and unsurprisingly, I love nature. I've gone camping and hiking pretty much my whole life. When I was a kid, there was a scary campfire story that was always told to us, and I'm not really sure if this is like an official cryptid or not, but it's one that seems to be very commonplace within the community I was in. The story was about this creature called Dogman. Everyone kind of retells the story in their own way, and the details are usually changed to be about whatever place you're currently camping in or around, but a brief synopsis of the story usually goes something like this. When camping in the woods, I encountered a snarling, growling creature. It appeared to be a wolf on all four legs, except it didn't quite look like a wolf. Maybe more like a dog, like a German shepherd. When it began to back away, it stood up on the two legs, standing just like a human, 7 feet tall.
Ooh.
I think it was a man, a dog man. That's where their synopsis ends. In every iteration of the story, I've heard the storyteller, or every iteration of the story I've heard, the storyteller always gets away. And I've always thought Dogman was obviously just a knockoff werewolf, but I fear my opinion may have changed on
He's a knockoff
that.
goat man.
What?
He's a knockoff goat man.
A knockoff goat man.
Yeah.
Kind of a combination of the two.
Yeah, like a
Werewolf.
weird
Weird
but
goat
it's
man.
It's dog man.
It's a dog. Yeah, that's
I
kind of
love
fun.
this.
Like the
Okay.
Dave Pilkey character.
Right, because there is that book series Dogman,
Correct.
Oh.
but it's not about like a cryptid. It's
No,
just like
it's about a superhero who's also a dog.
Boo.
superhero.
Boring. This dog man's way better.
This is, already I'm into it. Okay. Last weekend I took a trip out to Bryce Canyon National Park. I've been there many times. I love it, and I finally had a day off completely to myself. Well, I did a longer than usual hike and found myself about 3 miles out from my car when the sun was starting to set. Scary.
Spooky. 3 miles?
3 miles is
When the sun is setting?
when the sun is setting. That's pretty.
Girl or guy. I
I'm
don't
so
know.
sorry that happened to you.
Careful out there.
Yeah, seriously. I'm a pretty fast hiker, but I was tired and have to admit I hadn't quite planned out this hike as well as I should have.
Yeah.
I did have plenty of water and my flashlight, so I wasn't too worried, but I knew it would likely take me at least an hour or so to get back to my car. And at this point, the trail I was on was deserted. I hadn't seen another person for hours, so I was getting a little freaked out. The first mile went by fine, but it was now dark or dusk. I don't know. It was scarier than before. But I'm hustling, trying not to psych myself out too much. A lot of animals become more active at night, mostly just small, harmless ones like deer or bats or prairie dogs. But there's always a risk of cougars, so you have to be vigilant.
Or dog man.
Or, well,
As we
we'll
know.
see, you know? Hopefully that doesn't come up again. Second mile was down. Just one more to go. I knew I could make it in probably about 20 minutes or so, but that's when I heard it. I heard the footfall of something big, and then I heard rustling in the bushes just a few feet ahead of me on the side of the trail. And this might not make any sense, but the rustling felt really prolonged, almost intentional, as if whatever is in the bushes wanted me to hear it. Well, I froze, and in my head, the scariest thing it could be in those bushes would either be a cougar or a human.
Yeah. Bear
yeah.
or man.
Yeah, right? And you probably want it to be the bear. In that moment, I quickly decided that if it was either of those things, my best option would be to make myself look as big as possible in case it was a cougar, and run as fast as I could in case it was a human deliberately fucking with me.
Strong.
Well, I pulled my sweatshirt hood up and started waving my arms in the air, flashlight in one hand, water bottle in the other. After a second, I started to lunge forward to run when it emerges and stops me dead in my tracks. It wasn't a cougar,
No.
and it wasn't a human. I'm so scared, but I have to know exactly what that thing is. So I shine my light on it, and I swear all the blood drained from my face. That creature is crouched down. Its body I can only describe as human, but like if a human were trapped in a dog's body.
Ew.
If you've ever seen those videos of those creepy labradoodles that kind of sit like people, you'll know what I'm talking about.
I hate that.
I know. Its face was kind of wolf-like, except it looked kind of like a German shepherd, I swear to God. But I also didn't pause for too long. Its eyes reflected my flashlight. It was looking right at me, and I could tell it wasn't a person in a fursuit. But again, it happens so quickly.
Could be a furry, actually.
Right,
That's
which
a
is
good point.
pretty scary.
A feral furry.
A feral labradoodle furry.
That's just my fursona.
Yeah.
Well, I just bolted. I knew I would be running right past it, but I just wanted to get out of there. So I truly ran as fast as I could and probably would have qualified for the Olympics with how fast I was.
Damn.
I ran and ran and ran until I was back at the parking lot. I didn't look back the entire time I was running because if that thing was going to kill me, I didn't want to see it coming.
You know what? That's a great point.
Right?
I
It's
love
kind of
that.
like that damn thing we were
It's
talking
the
about.
damn thing.
Yep.
Yeah.
I just don't want to
I
know.
don't want to know. I'm just gonna keep running.
I got in my car, jumped in, and drove for an hour before I finally stopped and collected myself. I actually feel crazy every time I think back on it. I know everyone who's ever witnessed something paranormal says this, but I was and honestly still am a skeptic. I don't believe in ghosts, so honestly, I do not believe in cryptids. But I don't know. I swear to God, I saw the Dogman. I saw the Dogman in Bryce Canyon.
The Dogman of Bryce Canyon.
The Dogman of Bryce Canyon, number 9.
Number 9. Holy shit. Okay, we gotta get David on the ground investigation.
Anyways, I'm curious what you guys think of this. If you have any other questions, feel free to write me back, but please keep me anonymous on the pod. I do not want the Dogman to hunt me down. I suspect he is probably also a big fan of SRH. Sincerely, Fox Mulder for all my X-File girlies.
I don't want Dogman to hunt me down based on the podcast.
Okay,
Dogman could be a listener, guys. You never know.
I hope he is. Holy
here's what I
shit.
have to say.
The feral furry in Bryce
In
Canyon.
the Labradoodle first.
The Labradoodle furry.
Thank you for writing in. You need to make an account and post that on spookyspaghetti.com.
Yeah,
Oh, Spooky Spaghetti.
Oh, we didn't even get to that.
We didn't even get into Pretty Little Liars
Holy
summer
shit,
school
next
because
time.
honestly, we've had a lot to talk about.
And a fan letter about, dude, that was spooky.
I
That was
feel
spooky,
honored
yeah.
that they.
I gotta say, you did a good job. I don't know. My weakness is like weird, creepy dog comparisons because in the Goatman story, they compare the way he sounds to like when
Oh my
people train their
gosh,
dogs to
yes,
say words, which I think
yes.
is so creepy. So they really nailed it with that like human trapped in a dog.
Oh my gosh, yeah. No, there's like a whole
That's
subcategory of those
crazy.
stories where people are like, I think my neighbor's dog is just a man. Oh my god, so scary.
Why is that so much scarier than like I don't know,
Right?
It's like a regular horror story.
No, it's weird. It's like yeah, it's kind of hard to even describe. And then
No.
you see videos of those labradoodles that are sitting like people, and you're like, ugh.
I hate it. One of the scariest like creepypastas that stuck with me was just a guy describing. He was like his car broke down and there was like a bunch of deer in a field and as he was stuck in his car
yeah.
they just stood up
Oh,
on hind legs and started running around.
oh.
I was like, that's the scariest shit I've ever read. I don't know why that is.
It is because it's like one of those things where it would just happen and it probably wouldn't even harm you, but it's so eerie.
It's very uncanny.
Yeah.
I feel like the uncanny stuff gets me way more than
Okay.
Because it feels also possible, you know, right?
Because like for all I know, maybe deer can do that.
Right,
But that would
yeah.
scare the shit out of me.
What's scarier? A deer hopping up on its hind legs and running at you, or
It wasn't even running at the guy. They were just
In a
running
field?
around in a field.
okay, or
That's what's so spooky about it.
or a human climbing down on all fours and running after you.
Oh.
That's very scary too. Because what's most important is the bizarre behavior.
Right.
Because your brain doesn't know if it's dangerous or not.
Right. I would think a human on all fours is scarier.
Yeah, for sure.
Just because they can like hold a gun.
Yeah, they might be on all fours with a gun.
It's like shooting every time they hit the ground.
Well, people are saying that like
Oh yeah, that's
that
right.
that
Randare brought that up too.
that a humans are getting very fast at running.
Boys
on all
just want to be on all
fours,
fours.
It's funny because I've
and
seen
they're gonna
videos.
break some records.
I know. I've seen the running on all fours videos.
They're pretty
There's
funny.
like literally athletes training, and it's I don't even know if they're athletes. There's dudes.
There's guys on all
There's
fours.
guys training. It doesn't. I don't know. Maybe I'll be right. It does not look more efficient
It
than
really
running,
doesn't.
but maybe. I think it's like in real life, a person on all fours is. I mean, that'll always be scary.
Right.
But when you're reading a creepy story,
To me, it's definitely the deer.
yeah, like the deer is creepier in a story.
Yeah, I guess because it's like inexplicable. It's like,
I mean, like,
why would they be doing that?
like if it
Well,
was like a labradoodle,
Yeah.
I wouldn't be that scared. I mean, it would be like, what is happening? But like, but a deer,
It's weird.
It's weird.
Well, cause it's like horror movies are always way less scary at the end when you see the monster.
True.
Right?
Yeah.
As soon as something is like attacking or like running at you, it's when you don't know the intention.
Yeah.
It's when your brain goes like full alert, because it's like, I don't even know if I'm supposed to be in fight or flight or what. I
Yeah.
just don't know what's happening.
Yeah. No, that's true.
It's
That's
the
true.
uncanny valley.
Well, thanks for writing us. This is
Yeah.
really spooky.
That was very good. I love
Oh
it.
man.
If you find anything else, about it, maybe we'll ask David to look
I think
into
we
it.
should send David boots on the ground by
Boots
himself.
on the ground.
Or Sophie.
Or Sophie.
Or
Maybe
Sophie.
both.
We're not putting Sophie in harm's way.
That's true. She
We'll
doesn't
send
deserve
David.
that.
David with
David does. After the fat phobic shit he's gonna write
He's
underneath
going
this.
to.
He's gonna.
We'll send David with like a body cam.
Yeah.
Just see what he sees, That's like streaming straight to the cloud in case he dies.
Do it.
In case he does.
So we can see it.
Yeah, we got our own Dogman in this room right
We
now.
do.
Yeah, no, thank you so much for that letter. It's an
Truly.
honor to get fan mail. Guys, remember strumpetradio@gmail.com if you have anything at all.
Specifically more scary.
Yeah,
cryptid
more
stories.
like
I
creepy,
love
maybe
that.
cryptids or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, whether or not that happened, I mean, like, was it the Dogman? I mean, my instinct is yeah.
I think for sure. That sounds
That was
like
a
the
Dogman.
That sounds literally like Dogman. to me.
I think you encountered
That
Dogman.
is like so Dogman.
Yeah. Okay.
Love you.
Love you all.
Love
Thanks.
you, fan mail person in particular.
Yeah, no, fan mail person, because you're a real fan.
Yeah.
What was the name that they said?
Oh, they signed it off Fox Mulder for my X-File
That's
girlies.
All right. Thank you, Fox Mulder.
Yeah.
Thank you, Fox Mulder.
Fox Mulder is sexy too. It's like,
Yeah.
yeah. Not as sexy as
think
Dana
he-
Scully though.
Yeah, he gets outshined by Scully.
Yeah.
Did you say David Scully?
Dana.
Oh.
David Scully's gonna be on the ground.
David
looking for
Scully's gonna be
Dogman.
boots on the ground.
Boots
Boots
on the
Dog
ground.
Man. I want to believe.
I want to believe. Okay. Yeah. Thank you. Love you to our fans that write us. Less love to the fans that don't write us, but
What the hell? Bye.
Bye guys.
This has been a Brendan Sauer production.